How do you assess people online when you're scoping people out? You're looking for service providers for different things, and you go to their website or you go to their Facebook or you go to their Instagram. What assessment are you making? What judgments are you making based on whatever you see there? What is your process, and what are the things that you're critiquing when you check them out, follow their podcast, listen to their shows? Like, what are the markers of success that you are bringing into that decision-making process? Quick announcement. So the portal, there's a couple days left to join the portal and get the bonus pop-up call. So the portal is going to remain open, but if you want to come to the bonus pop-up call in June, here's the gist of what this is all about. The portal is basically the space that holds all of my digital courses that are on online business development / personal development. So any courses you've heard me talk about for several years now really are housed inside of the portal. They actually housed in 2 spaces, but one of the ways you can access them is via the portal. And it's an all access pass. You can pop in and watch the courses while you are a pass holder. The other is the Evolutionary Business School, which is another option. And that comes with small group coaching. So you get both. So the portal, which is relatively new, I just opened the portal in April. Everyone who joined in April and everyone who joins in May, so up until May 31st, qualifies to come to a June pop-up Q&A. And what that looks like is all of us on Zoom together, and you can come and bring your questions, whether that's, how do I navigate the portal? Like, which course should I start with? This is where I'm at in my business. Or, hey, I watched this module or this course, and these are the questions that I have. Can you speak a little bit more about this particular thing that you discussed in this particular course? Or really anything when it comes to business / personal development. So these bonus pop-up Q&As, I used to do them. I think I started doing them in 2020 with my self-paced digital courses because it was such a fun way to allow people to learn from me on their own time, watching these self-paced courses, and then still have that live interaction and opportunity to get your questions answered. So that's happening in June. But again, to qualify, you have to be in the portal before May 31st. And there's over $2,000 worth of courses if you were to purchase them separately inside of the portal. So it's like a stupid no-brainer decision. If you've been following me, you enjoy my content, you enjoy the way that I approach business, and you wanted to learn from me, it's a very accessible way to do that. Moving on, the other quick announcement I have is private support, private mentorship. I do have space for private mentorship. These are very customizable containers, depending on what your needs are, what you desire my support in, whether that's some combination of entrepreneurship, of motherhood, of energy healing. And really, I think it's safe to say all of my private support containers have a heavy dose of energy healing. And if you don't know what that is, that's okay. We will work through that in the container. So if this is something that you're interested in, just reach out to me. You can DM me on Instagram, or you can send me an email at nicole@nicolejoy.com, and let's set up a time to talk. We'll see if it's a good fit and then how I can best help you, whether that's private mentorship or some other space. All right, I have a little story to tell you based on a conversation I had with a boy on the plane last week. So my flight was London to Tampa direct. It's about 9 hours. And I spent most of the flight not speaking, but binge watching courses that have just accumulated in my inbox over time. And I finally had an opportunity to sit down and watch a bunch of these courses. I also finished a book that I had started like months ago. So yay me. But anyway, the last like 30 minutes of the flight, I started having a conversation with this kid next to me. I'm calling him a kid. As we got to talking, I realized he was like fresh out of college. So to me, yes, he's a kid, right? And he's this young man from Ireland traveling to visit family in Florida. So the last 30 minutes of the flight, we just started talking about what he's going to be doing in Florida. And somehow, of course, we got on the topic of metaphysics and spirituality. And he noticed the book I was reading was an Eckhart Tolle book, The New Earth. And he had read some of Eckhart Tolle's work. So we're having this nice little conversation. And he brings up some metaphysical things that he's interested in. And I referred him to somebody who I know who does that kind of thing. I was giving him her Instagram. And this is where it was really profound to me. I said to him, she's not super active on Instagram, but if you reach out to her, she will respond to you. his response is what really shook me. He said, well, isn't that a good sign? Isn't that a good sign that she's not very active on social media? And I was really taken aback because this young man is a centennial. He's what you would just define as a centennial. He's like 22, 23 years old. And that generation, I have my own, my own stuff that I think about that generation, but what he said was really profound to me about shifting my beliefs about that generation, but also how I view markers of success. It got me thinking about, wow, this young man is looking at her social media and thinking she's not that active on social media. That's a positive thing. What does that mean about what we are thinking, our generation, or anybody really, despite what generation you're in, about what the markers of success are that we are looking at? And so be honest with yourself. Like, how do you assess people online when you're scoping people out? You're looking for service providers for different things, and you go to their website or you go to their Facebook or you go to their Instagram. What assessment are you making? What judgments are you making based on whatever you see there? What is your process, and what are the things that you're critiquing when you check them out, follow their podcast, listen to their shows? Like, what are the markers of success that you are bringing into that decision-making process? So I have a few questions for you to ponder. If you've been reflecting on some of how you navigate this kind of thing, awesome. My goal here is to help you stretch and maybe do some shifting, stretch how you think about this, right? Because I was doing it for myself after I talked with this young kid. So here's a few questions that I came up with. Now, mind you, when you're walking through these questions, don't judge yourself. The point of this is not to be like, oh my gosh, I've been doing this so wrong, I'm bad. That's not the point. The point is, again, to help you shift and help you grow and help you take a step back and assess, like, wow, what was I deciding were markers of success?
Let's take a moment for a quick commercial break. So I want to share with you HoneyBook. If you have not been using HoneyBook in your service-based business, well, let me tell you that this thing is like simplified my life. HoneyBook is a client relationship management system. So inside of it, they had me at, when you're picking the options of what your profession is, they had me at doula was an option. I was like, hello. I signed up for HoneyBook a few years ago. It beats the other CRM system that I was looking at. Starts with a D, ends with an O. It beats it like by far for me. I found that one way too clunky and tricky to navigate. And I'm in the online business space. You would think that I'm super techie and I'm really into like able to do all of these techie things. I'm actually not. I need it very, very simple to start. And then I can build on it. HoneyBook is something that has made it so simple. So when I am working with new clients, there's contract templates, there's agreement templates, there's onboarding questionnaires. I mean, anything you can imagine that you need in a CRM system is there. Click the link in the show notes. They generally have free trials that you can test it out. That's my affiliate link. I hope you enjoy using HoneyBook as much as I do. I think I've been in it 3 years strong. Okay, back to the episode.
So number one, how do you assess people's success in their business? Is it by their social media follower account? Is it by the dollar amount that they've earned or that they've shown that they are earning and reporting? Is it by their Instagram feed aesthetics? So like, is it all perfect coloring and branding and aesthetically pleasing and beautiful and perfect? And then how are you assessing people's success in their life? So outside of business, by their home or by the kind of car that they drive, by their relationship status, by the way that their kids perform in a sport or in school, by their jean size. Because the thing is, if you're doing any of those, if you're assessing somebody's success based on any of these arbitrary markers, then there's a good chance you are perceiving your own success through these arbitrary markers. And this can be tricky if you don't yet have the things that you are defining success based on. If you're not yet, or may not ever be in a particular jean size. I'm never going to be a smaller jean size than like probably an 8. I just won't. There have been times in my life that I have been, but I wasn't healthy. I didn't feel healthy. And so in reality, if I were somebody who was saying that I will feel successful in my body when I'm a size 4, I'll never feel successful again in this body, because I'm never going to be less than a size 8. Again, like that felt like a very unhealthy stage of my life. And I feel healthier. I feel healthiest at a size 8 minimum. If I'm defining my business success based on a certain follower count, am I not successful until I get to that point? So the whole point of this is to look at the beliefs that you're carrying about what constitutes these markers of success. So let's walk through a few more questions to really like drill down into this. How can you redefine your definition of success in all of these areas? So can your decision to start doing work that lights you up be successful? Can just that decision be the success? Can putting yourself higher on the priority list be the success? Can cultivating the courage to actually start an Instagram business account or a podcast or open up and start a website, like open up your virtual doors, can that be considered a success? Can the creative process alone be a success without attaching to any marker, right? So any number of people who buy it, any number of people who join it, any number of people who see it, the number of views that your work gets online. Can your creative process be successful just because it is? Whether you're creating a digital workbook or a digital course or a piece of actual art, or if you are writing a song or writing a piece of poetry, can that process be the success just because it is, without attachment? Can loving your body, can nourishing your body, can honoring whatever your body needs in this moment, can that be the success without attaching to any markers? I hope you have found this incredibly helpful. Let's thank this young man, this Centennial who sat next to me on the plane, for giving me profound insight. And I hope that you carry this and remember what this kid said as you move forward in your business of like, not every potential client is looking at your social media and thinking, oh, they only have 200 followers. They must not be very good at what they do. Because you know that there are a lot of you listening who might look at yourself and think that like, oh, people might not think I'm very good until I have this many followers or 10,000 followers, or until I'm earning this much money a month. That is a load of crap that we've been told and that we've been convinced that we need and that we're telling ourselves. It is not necessary going forward. I can tell you that some of the most profound work that I've experienced with people I've hired are from people who don't have a big following, who might not be making millions of dollars, and who I don't even know what their jean size is. And I really don't give a crap, right? So I hope you have found this incredibly helpful, and I will talk to you next week. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day and listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found value in what I'm sharing here. And if you did, can you do me a little favor and go and rate and review this episode? I will share a link in the show notes so that it's really easy to rate and review this podcast. It would mean a lot to me, as this is truly a passion project. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you next week.